कि आप अपने आसपास अपने घर स्वच्छ रखिए। जिन घरों में स्वच्छता नहीं होती उसमें कभी प्रभु का वास नहीं हो सकता। He worked on sanitation, he worked on prohibition, and he used to tell them कि ढिंगला ढिंगली, गुजराती में बोलते हैं ढिंगला ढिंगली, मतलब कि ये डॉल्स, डॉल की उम्र की बच्चियों को अगर आप शादी करोगे तो आप उनको नर्क में डाल रहे हो। उन्होंने बोला जब तक वो खुद अपने आप तय कर नहीं पाए उस उम्र तक उनकी शादी करना बेकार है। और मैं ऐसे लोगों, अगर मेरे हाथ में सत्ता होती तो मैं ऐसे लोगों को कड़ी से कड़ी सजा देते जो लोग छोटे छोटे बच्चों की शादियां करवाते थे। सरदार ऑल्सो बिलीव्ड इन जेंडर इक्वालिटी। वो बोलते थे कि जब तक हमारी बच्चियां पढ़ेगी नहीं, पढ़े लिखे नौजवानों के साथ शादी करने के बाद उनका इम्बैलेंस होगा, उनका परिवार ठीक नहीं चलेगा। तो एक ही गाड़ी के दो पहिए अच्छे होने चाहिए। सरदार ने उस वक्त विठल कन्या मंदिर का उद्घाटन किया और बच्चियों के लिए उन्होंने स्कूल बनवाया थी। he worked for women empowerment, जेंडर बैलेंस और सबके लिए। बारडोली के सत्याग्रह में और बाद में चंपारण जाके भी उन्होंने किसानों को बोला कि भाई तुम लोग अर्धांग वायु से पीड़ित हो, मतलब कि तुम्हारा आपका आधा बदन लकवाग्रस्त है, पैरालिसिस है। तो लोग समझे नहीं। उन्होंने बोला जब तक आपकी वाइफ्स, जब तक आपकी घर की महिलाएं स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन में पार्ट नहीं लेगी हम कभी सफल नहीं हो पाएंगे। एंड अगर उनको लाओगे तो ही मैं आपका लीडरशिप करूंगा। तो ऐसे, क्योंकि वो मानते थे कि जब ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के ऑफिसर्स का आतंक जब होगा, वो जब्ती करेंगे, लोगों को घर में से सब कुछ लेके जाएंगे। बारडोली सत्याग्रह में जब टैक्स नहीं दिया था तब अगर स्त्रियों को इसमें शामिल नहीं किया गया तो उनको शौक लगेगा कि भाई हमारी भैंसे ले गए, हमारे सामान ले गए, जब्ती हो गई। तो उन्होंने बोला जब तक आप उन लोगों को शामिल नहीं करोगे आपकी ताकत नहीं बढ़ेगी। ये वक्त था कि काफी सारे मणि बहन उनकी बिटिया के साथ काफी सारे विमेन लीडर्स भी देश को मिले। तो ये था सरदार का पूरा सत्याग्रहों का सोशियोलॉजी, समाजशास्त्र था। उन्होंने बोला कि ये आंदोलन सिर्फ ब्रिटिश सरकार को झुकाने के लिए नहीं है, लेकिन लोगों में हमारे जैसे लीडर्स, महात्मा गांधी अकेले स्वातंत्र संग्राम के लिए लड़ते रहेंगे, उससे देश का भला नहीं होगा जब तक आम इंसान स्वतंत्रता की चाह नहीं रखेगा। सो बाय दिस ऑल एजिटेशंस व्हाट ही डिड वाज कि उनके अहिंसा का तो प्रिंसिपल जो था, सिद्धांत था, वो तो उनके दिमाग में डाला, लेकिन साथ साथ उन सबको भी स्वतंत्र संग्राम में भागीदार बनाया। किसी ने मुझे पूछा कि सरदार तो अलग स्वभाव के थे, गांधी जी अलग स्वभाव के थे, इनका कैसे बना? तो जो लोग आज संगठन चला रहे हैं, जो लोग आज संगठन में किसी न किसी संगठन में जुड़े हुए, उनको सरदार का ये वाक्य याद रखना चाहिए। उन्होंने बोला था देखो भैया, विचार अलग हो सकते हैं, स्वभाव अलग हो सकते हैं, लेकिन जब ध्येय एक हो तब छोटे मोटे डिफरेंसेस को हमें उजागर नहीं करना चाहिए। तो आजकल काफी सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस में देखने को मिलता है कि लोग बहुत जल्द अलग हो जाते हैं, लोगों के ईगो क्लैश होते हैं। तो जो लोग अच्छे सामाजिक संगठन, जो अच्छे ध्येय से बने हो, उन लोगों को सरदार का ये संदेश जानना बिल्कुल जरूरी है। 1931 से लेके फिर वो देश के कराची कांग्रेस से प्रेसिडेंट हुए, फिर बाद में चले गए। उसके बाद अब हम सब जानते हैं कि 1942 में जब क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट हुई तब सरदार की जो ताकत थी लोगों को इकट्ठा करने की, वो इसमें देखने को मिलती है। सरदार इतने सिंपल थे कि वो 6 बार जेल में गए। जब साबरमती जेल में महादेव भाई उनको मिलने के लिए गए, बोले ये तो मेरा महल है, ब्रिटिशर्स मुझे कैद करना चाहते हैं मैं, लेकिन इसी महल में भी मैं अपने आप को आजाद महसूस करता हूं। 1933 में जब विठल भाई पटेल, उनके बड़े भाई का देहांत हुआ वियना में, जब उनकी डेड बॉडी आई तब काफी सारे लोगों ने लिखा कि सरदार को मुक्त करिए 2-3 दिन के लिए ताकि वो अपने बड़े भाई का अग्निदाह कर सके। जब सरदार को ब्रिटिश सरकार ने खत लिखा कि हम आपको 2 शर्तों पे, जो लोग देश के लिए जज्बा रखना चाहते हैं ना, जो लोग अपने बोलते हैं, काफी सारे लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं कि नहीं यू शुड ऑल्सो फैमिली का भी देखना चाहिए, देश का भी रखना चाहिए। सरदार उन लोगों में से जो मानते थे कि अगर हम संपूर्ण और सर्वस्व बलिदान की तैयारी नहीं होती तो अच्छी देश सेवा नहीं हो सकती। उस दिन उन्होंने ब्रिटिश सरकार को बोला कि हाँ, ये मेरा अधिकार है मेरे बड़े भाई को अग्निदाह देने का, लेकिन मैं ब्रिटिश सरकार को अपना मालिक समझता ही नहीं, उनकी कोई शर्त मैं नहीं मानूंगा। एंड ही डिड नॉट टेक द पैरोल, दी हुई पैरोल उन्होंने नहीं ली। सो दिस वाज द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ सरदार पटेल। जब उनकी मां मर गई 1932 में, तब अपनी उनकी बिटिया बेलगाम जेल में थी, सरदार थे नासिक जेल में। तब वो एक खत है, उसमें लिखा है अपनी बिटिया को कि बेटा, मुझे पता चला है कि अपनी मां का स्वर्गवास हो गया है। तब सरदार उसमें लिखते हैं कि चलो अच्छा हुआ, हम तो उनकी देखभाल कर नहीं पाते, और इतनी बड़ी उम्र में उनकी कौन देखभाल करता। Look at the kind of sacrifice, look at the kind of priority that this man had for this nation. 1942 में he was again jailed for the last time for 3 years. जब बात आई क्रिप्स मिशन या वेवेल से बात करने की, सरदार कभी उनसे इंप्रेस नहीं हुए, कभी उनको खुश करने की बात, लेकिन जितनी भी जुडिशियस बातें थी उतनी उन्होंने स्वीकार भी किया। सरदार चाहते थे कि हिंदुस्तान के मुस्लिम लीग के सामने चट्टान की तरह खड़े रहने वाला एकमात्र आदमी था। वो कभी ये नहीं चाहते थे, वो कभी ये नहीं सोचते थे कि लोग मुझे बर्बर या फिर कठोर समझेंगे, लेकिन देश के लिए जहां भी कठोरता की आवश्यकता रही, सरदार ने वो कठोरता दिखाई। कश्मीर के बारे में आप लोग जानते हैं कि सरदार अगर नहीं होते तो 26 अक्टूबर 1947 का दिन हरि सिंह के इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ एक्सेशन के साइन करने के बाद उन्होंने मीटिंग बुलाई। जनरल मानेकशॉ उसमें तब ब्रिगेडियर थे। उन्होंने बताया कि भी कितने सारे सिविलियन प्लेन्स, आर्मी मिलिट्री प्लेन्स, एयरफोर्स के सब प्लेन शुड बी सेंट टू कश्मीर एंड विद इन आवर्स। अगर बोलते हैं कि अगर 1 घंटा 2 घंटा लेट होता तो वो कबायली लोग और पाकिस्तान आर्मी के छद्मवेश में आए हुए कबायली वो श्रीनगर एयरपट्टी का कब्जा कर लेने वाले थे। ये सरदार थे जिनकी वजह से कश्मीर आज हिंदुस्तान का मुकुट बन के बैठा है। निजाम, उन्होंने कई यूरोपियन देशे, ब्रिटिशर्स उनके दोस्त, पाकिस्तान, पोर्टुगीज इन गोवा, सबके साथ उन्होंने बात करके रखी थी कि अगर हिंदुस्तान हमारे पे अटैक करेगा तो हम इतना इतना करेंगे, क्योंकि इनके पास बहुत पैसे थे। सरदार ने उस दिन रात को जब राजा जी और पंडित नेहरू ने, जब सरदार ने तय कर लिया कि आज हम पुलिस एक्शन शुरू करेंगे, तब रात को वीपी मेनन और एचएम पटेल को बुला के बोला कि सरदार को बोलो कि थोड़े दिन रुक जाए। सरदार नींद में से जागे, उठे और बोले कि उनको बोल दो कि हमारी आर्मी अंदर एंटर हो चुकी है, अब कुछ नहीं हो सकता। एंड वी गॉट हैदराबाद विद इन 5 days. We got Hyderabad within 5 days. So these are the great stories of Sardar, and ours are not enough to tell about Sardar. There are several, उसमें बहुत सारी ऐसी बातें हैं जो लोग नहीं जानते। भारत माता की जय आजकल लोग बहुत उनकी उसकी वो आवाज सुनाई दे रही है काफी सालों के बाद, लेकिन मैं आपको बता दूं कि जब 1949 में जब वो कन्याकुमारी गए और एक ही वस्त्र में वो जब मंदिर से बाहर निकले, तब सामने उनके वी शंकर आईएएस ऑफिसर खड़े थे। उन्होंने पूछा कि हे शंकर, आप जानते हो आप कहाँ खड़े हो? तब शंकर ने बोला कि हाँ, आई एम स्टैंडिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ द गेट ऑफ कन्याकुमारी टेम्पल। उसने बोला नहीं, आप भारत माता के चरणों में खड़े हो। आंखें बंद करो, उत्तर की तरफ देखो तो आपको वो मैदाने, वो घास के मैदाने, वो पर्वत श्रृंखलाएं, वो नदियां और उत्तुंग हिमालय दिखाई देगा, और उसमें अगर आप देखोगे अपने अंतर्मन से तो आपको भारत माता दिखाई देगी। This is what Mr. Shankar has told in his lecture in Sardar Patel University in 1971. So there are several untold stories which his people who worked with him, जैसे एचएम पटेल बहुत सारी बातें बताते हैं। उनकी अच्छी किताब लिखी है डिटेल में राजमोहन गांधी जी ने। इट्स अ गुड बुक प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय नवजीवन। आई एडवाइज एवरीबडी टू रीड। और तो these are the stories of सरदार पटेल। जूनागढ़ में जब हुआ तब उनको पता चल गया था। Now how diplomatic he was. There was one argument कि भाई उनको प्राइम मिनिस्टर क्यों नहीं बनाया गया। तो लॉर्ड भिखू पारेख आके यहाँ एक लेक्चर था, तो लॉर्ड भिखू पारेख साहब ने बोला था कि there are several reasons. One reason where that he was very old. Second reason that he did not have great experience. उनके पास विदेश विभाग का दूसरे देशों के साथ नेगोशिएट करने का उतना अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस नहीं था। दूसरा, उनको लगता था कि वो किसी धर्म विशेष के प्रति ज्यादा ही कठोर थे। और चौथा, उनको ये तीन मेजर रीजंस थे। तभी वहां एक स्टूडेंट खड़ा हुआ और उसने बताया कि जिस आदमी ने एक भी रक्त का कश्मीर, हैदराबाद और जूनागढ़ को छोड़ के कि एक भी रक्त का टीपा ये ड्रॉप बर्बाद किए बगैर करीब 560 रजवाड़े जो अलग देश ही थे, 1947 में वो अलग देश ही थे क्योंकि वो रजवाड़े थे, उनको भारत के साथ मिलाया, उससे बड़ा एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स का क्या काम हो सकता है। दूसरा, वो 3 साल 1950 तक वो जिंदा रहे और कितनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ली। He was the deputy prime minister, he was the home minister, he was also the information and broadcasting minister, he was also minister for the princely states। इतनी सारी रिस्पॉन्स, लेकिन ऐसे कई प्रमाण है फाइलों में। सरदार ने इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स, एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्ट्स का इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इन द एंटायर सिस्टम, सप्लाई चेन सिस्टम और ऐसे ऐसे कई सरदार के पिलानी और बेंगलोर में जो अपनी ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री थी उसमें जाके उन्होंने देखा है कि भाई हम कितना डिफेंस में कितना पैदा कर सकते हैं। तो एक भी ऐसा विषय नहीं दिखता उन 3 सालों में कि जो जिसको सरदार के खुद के विचार ना हो। उस वक्त एक गुजराती धीरूभाई देसाई करके स्विट्जरलैंड में अपने एम्बेसडर थे, उन्होंने उनको खत लिखा और बोला कि भाई जर्मनी से आप विमान बनाने का ब्लूप्रिंट ले आइए। उन्होंने वो ब्लूप्रिंट भेजा और उन्होंने मिस्टर मेहताब को भेजा, इंडस्ट्री मिनिस्टर को, कि भाई नाउ यू डू दिस। बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली आफ्टर फ्यू मंथ्स ऑफ दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन सरदार नहीं रहे, वरना हम बहुत सालों पहले खुद के विमान या फिर डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन बहुत अच्छे से उस वक्त कर पाते। जो हमारे पार्टीशन के बाद एक बहुत भयानक सपना था। सरदार ने जब अपने अपने विमान में से नीचे देखा तो पूर्व पंजाब से ऐसे ही हजारों लाखों की तादाद में लोग आ रहे थे। उनकी आंखों में उस वक्त आंसू थे। मनीबेन लिखती है कि सरदार कुछ नहीं बोले, सिर्फ देखते रहे। उनके उस वक्त का जो रेफ्यूजी मैनेजमेंट था, उनके सेटलमेंट के जो उसके पर काफी सारी किताबें लिखी जा सकती हैं। तो फ्रेंड्स, मैंने तो काफी सारा पढ़ा है। आई हैव गॉट वी हैव कलेक्टेड मोर देन 40,000 डॉक्यूमेंट्स, हिस्टोरिकल डॉक्यूमेंट्स ऑन सरदार, विद सरदार गुजरात गवर्नमेंट में हमने लाए हैं। वी हैव कलेक्टेड ऑल हिज ऑडियो स्पीचेस, वी हैव कलेक्टेड हिज ओथ टेकिंग सेरेमनी जो है लॉर्ड माउंटबेटन उनको दिलवाते हैं, उसके भी ऑडियो हमारे पास है। वी हैव गॉट ट्रिमेंडस, वो अभी हम पढ़ते ही जा रहे हैं, पढ़ते ही जाए, नई नई चीजें बाहर निकलती आ रही है। बट सरदार के बारे में बहुत कम छपा था, लेकिन अब ज्यादा छपने लगा है। एंड नाउ पीपल आर re-evaluating सरदार in the present context, and there are several aspects, इतने सारे एस्पेक्ट्स के सरदार के जीवन के बारे में जो आज भी प्रस्तुत है। वो कठोर के साथ, वो किसी दुष्ट के साथ कठोरता करने के पक्ष में थे, क्योंकि वो देश का हित चाहते थे। और ऐसे कई ओकेजन्स थे कि सरदार ने अपने साथियों के साथ भी न्यायपूर्ण रहने के लिए कठोरता दिखाई है। और आज के एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में इसकी बहुत आवश्यकता है और हो भी रहा है। तो हमें लगता है कि सरदार ने जिस हिंदुस्तान का सपना देखा था, वो सपना हम आने वाले समय में या फिर हमारी आने वाली पीढ़ियां ये देख पाएगी। नमस्कार।
थैंक यू संजय जी। आपने बहुत विस्तार से सरदार जी का महिला उत्थान, अस्पृश्यता, बाल विवाह, जेंडर इक्वलिटी, महिला नेता, वुमन लीडर, his diplomatic character, his interest in defense production, and last but not the least is the freedom for all। तो इतना डिटेल में आपने जो बताया है और जो स्टोरीज लोगों को नहीं मालूम है वो भी आपने हमारे सामने रखी है। सो वंस अगेन थैंक यू वेरी मच। So now we come to our second speaker, and he is a very famous personality, Shri Ganpat Ishwar Patel. is the president and patron chief of Ganpat University in Mehsana in North Gujarat. I think he has received a degree from PhD degree from US University. So in further, I'll say Dr. Ganpat Patel. Dr. Patel is globally recognized professionally for his contribution in the field of electrical engineering and personally for his philanthropy, especially in relation to his endeavors in higher education. He firmly believes in विद्याया समाजोत्कर्ष विद्या से समाज का उत्थान. Dr. Patel is the son of Shri Ishwarbhai Patel and Shrimati Nainaben Patel from the Patidar community, and he was born on 12 Jan 1945 in Bhunau village. After completing his primary education in government school from Bhunau, he moved to Junagadh and completed his post-matric from MG Science College of Ahmedabad in 1965. Thereafter, at the age of 20, he moved to USA, America to pursue his dream for higher education. He was awarded a Bachelor of Science degree in Electrical Engineering from California Polytechnic University, Pomona. Dr. Patel began his professional career working for Lockheed Martin in aviation industry. He worked as a junior engineer for Abbott System in 1971 and later as a senior engineer for Burroughs, presently Unisys Corporation in USA. In 1978, Dr. Patel, with the help of his wife, founded his own company, Cherokee International Inc., a power supply company. Under Patel's leadership and guidance, Cherokee grew to a force in the power supply industry, securing relationships with the business giants like IBM, Cisco, Motorola, Hewlett Packard, and opening manufacturing facilities in USA, India, Belgium, and Mexico. Dr. Patel retired in 2004. I don't think he is retired till date. Uh, to dedicate more of his time as his philanthropic endeavors, he has been honored with several achievement awards, namely Excellence Award, Outstanding Achievement Award, Patidar Ratna Award, Patidar Padma Shri, and Shiromani Awards, Jewel of India, Jewel of Gujarat, Salute NRI India Award, Los Angeles Ratna Lifetime Achievement Award, and Patidar Udyog Award. But the most important was he was honored by his alma mater, California Polytechnic University, Panama, as a distinguished alumni and has been inducted into the Engineering Schools Hall of Fame. The government of India recognized his efforts in education and conferred him Padma Shri in 2019. Dr. Patel firmly believes in value of education to uplift the life and society, supported by his wife Srimati Manjuben and motivated by his three daughters Rita, Anita, and Asha as well. He has generously donated over 100 crore across the world to support education. He is also a member of the advisory board and councils of several education institutes across globe, including California Polytechnic University, Victoria University, Australia, and Lincoln University. His continued leadership and involvement and contribution build a better future for thousands of young lives. So, such a dignity is among us. I welcome Dr. Ganpat Patel ji. Webinar is yours, screen is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Asha ji. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Asha ji, for a kind introduction. It was not a long one. Good evening, everyone. Sri Jagannath ji, Mr. Pandya ji, today's speakers, Dr. Sanjay Joshi ji. Very good talks on Sardar Vallabhbhai. And Vandaniya Sri Ravi ji. Ravi ji ने बोला भारत के बाहर भी भारत है. I would say भारत के बाहर महाभारत है. I think we must take advantage of it. Gujarati Genius program. I think what we are trying to do is nothing genius. It is only a common sense. These values that we are talking about is not a genius. We have not invented it today. It was in Mahabharata. It has been taught in our Vedas. So what are we talking about genius? Yes, we just need to be on the ground. We need to be grounded and talk about the values, which is absolutely the common sense. It's it's not a rocket science. What we are about to talk, which is called Charitra Gartar. My mother, who had no formal education, had a Charitra Gartar. Was she a genius? I think so. I think she was a genius. So जोशी जी ने बात किया, my Hindi is not very good, Gujarati बहुत अच्छा नहीं है, but I am going to have to use English, Gujarati and Hindi wherever I can, mostly English. Please bear with me. जोशी जी ने बहुत अच्छी बात की वल्लभ भाई पे 1 PhD नहीं हो सकती. Thousands of PhD you can do on Vallabh Bhai. He was the most valuable person ever for India, Bharat Mata. वो कॉमन गोल की बात की. He was leader. He was not a hypocrite. Today, we have hypocrisy everywhere. We say something and we do something else. हमने जब यूनिवर्सिटी शुरू किया तो I said, okay, about 20, 30, 40 years ago, I had come forward and say, I'm going to donate 1 crore. Then we had a lot of local people came and they said, okay, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh. जब हम कलेक्ट करने गए तो किसी ने कुछ दिया ही नहीं. तो बोलते थे कि देना भी हमारे को, लिखवाना भी हमको. So we are living 2 lives. Let us do what we say and let us do what we say and let us do what we talk. We should have only one face. And this is what we need to teach to the next generation. First, we must practice, then we have to pass on. And this is what Vallabh Bhai was all about. Vallabh Bhai himself was practicing all these values. अभी जोशी जी ने बताया ना उनकी PhD में what Vallabh Bhai was all about. And we universities, education centers need to create thousands of more Vallabh Bhai. Why 1? Why 2? We have the youth. We can do it. So let me get to the point. Why and how we have started Ganpat University. It will come clear that Charitra Gartar or value-based education was the only focus in my mind, my family's mind. And so I feel that this is absolutely a proper forum for me. I feel so honored and I feel so relieved that you are taking such a subject and you are doing manthan on that subject. It is needed. The way we are going, the way the world is going, the way we are losing values, it is not sustainable. World cannot sustain another 1,000 years or 100 years. We must bring back the values. This is not a real progress. We should not educate children to make living. We should educate them to make life. This is what in a Vedic culture, this is what Vishwamitra did and our Gurujis did for their chelas in the Pandavas and Kauravas, the way they were studying. They were their children, they were not students. I was just telling just before the talk started. Uh, we have done many things at Ganpat University. I urge everyone to listen Ganpat University's anthem. We have an anthem called Ganpat University anthem. Like we have a Subalam, Sujalam, our Bharat anthem. We have a Ganpat University anthem. And please listen to it very carefully. It talks about nothing but values. What we want in our children to be. We look at our logo. Have you seen our logo? Ganpati, can you please put it on the Saurabh?
Yes, sir. I will put it. Give me a moment.
So our logo is 6 lines, and each line represents the values. These values are integrity, honesty, hard work, teamwork, leadership, and a knowledge. And the middle dot is a student. If they practice these values in their life, they will be held up. They will not fall down. So these logos were created with keeping in mind the Charitra Gardha, the value system that we want them to take with them. The other thing, Ganpat University happens to be, if you read it, Ganpat University, and you take a one word from it, it becomes Guni, Guni. That is Gunwan. So, yes, I see that. Do you see the core values? So we call them a Gunwan. That is, our graduate gets 2 degrees. 1 degree is in the subject matter. The second degree they get is they are part of the Guni family. And they must practice these values, these Gunwan values, as they travel in the life. And this is what the value education is all about. Thank you, Saurabh. You can take the logo off. So I talked about the logo. I talked about our DNA. And this is what we want to pass on to the next generation. I think it is a responsibility of the educational institution today that subject matter education is fine. You can get it anywhere. You can go to Google and learn it. But living with others, living with the society, and how you treat others, how do you behave, your behavior, your emotions, these are important subjects. Actually, a few years ago, we have written the book called Values and Ethics. Do you see it? So this is a book that is written by Ganpat University, and I am proposing that every student at Ganpat University have to take this Values and Ethics course and pass before they can graduate. They must understand what is the value and what is the ethics. Our management, beginning from the president, myself, we all have to sign code of conduct and code of ethics that we have implemented. I don't think any university in India has done that. So if any professors, any management, any trustee behavior is beyond this guideline, they must be immediately removed. No question asked. And they have to sign it. If they cannot sign, if they have a conflict, if they cannot live by code of conduct, code of ethics, then they have no room here. There is no place here. Because this is what we want to pass on. If we cannot practice, how can we pass on? Let us not be hypocrite. I mean, I don't know how clear can I be, but this is what today's education system Nikshit. Today's children are growing up differently than the way we grew up. I grew up in a small village. My mom had a great value. She had no education, absolutely no education. But she always taught me how to treat poor people, how to treat people who are less fortunate than we are. Be kind to them. If you don't have anything to give it to them, give them a love. It doesn't cost you anything. Respect their thoughts. Treat them the way you want to be treated, Gandhiji said. And I don't know why my mother got it, those values from Gandhiji or not, but she was a genius. Her name was Menaba. Sometimes I tell people that my first degree was from MIT, Menaba Institute of Technology. And I'm still using those values. That is more valuable than any PhD that I will ever get. But today's generation cannot have those values because we don't have too many Menabas. And parents are too busy to make living. So they don't have time to make their life. That is where we have to step in. We, the university, the institutions, educationalists, it is our duty to fill this void in the children's life. But the only way we can do it is by our own action. We cannot just give them a lip service. वो ज्यादा बकबक करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. वो हमें उतारना पड़ेगा, हमें उनका एक्शन में रखना पड़ेगा. So these good values are great values, but we have to practice them daily basis, every minute, every second. The other thing is today's education system puts too much emphasis on bookish knowledge. Good grades are more important than understanding the concept. To me, concept is the only thing you need to understand. You don't need to memorize stuff. But parents also emphasize it. बेटा तारो कयो नंबर आयो, पहलो नंबर आयो. Pehlo number, chalo number does not matter. Matter is, do you understand the concept? That is, the value system is also a concept. If you don't understand, जीवन का मकसद क्या है? Not to be millionaire, not to have a PhD, but to be happy. What requires to be happy? Not money. Money is the last thing you need to be happy. So, एक old man was sitting. Somebody asked me, दादा कैसे हो? तो बोले आनंद में हो. तो किसी ने बोला क्यों मजे में नहीं हो? नहीं, मजे में तो हो सकता हो, लेकिन मजे में होने के लिए पैसे चाहिए हैं. आनंद में होने के लिए कुछ नहीं चाहिए. तो आनंद में रहो. You don't need money, and your whole family should be Anandmay. So basically, our education system has a lot to be desired, and we should put emphasis on making kids understand the stuff. The big question is, how do we go about educating our children so they have these values? Children they learn as they live. This is what I did. This is what you did. We all learn as we go. If the child lives with a criticism, he will learn to condemn. If child lives with hostility, he will learn to fight. If child lives with ridicule, he will shy. If the child lives with shame, he will feel guilty. If child lives with tolerance, he will be patient. If child lives with encouragement, if you encourage them, they will have a confidence. If child lives with a praise, if you praise them, they will learn to how to appreciate. If child lives with a fairness, he will learn the justice. If child lives with security, he will have a faith. If child lives with approval, he will like himself. If child lives with acceptance and friendship, it learns to find love in the world. We cannot educate children human value until we put these kind of values in our life. We must practice, we must understand and then practice these values, how we want to raise our children. As a matter of fact, the institution itself has to educate the professors for these values. We have to educate the educator before we can accept our children to take and run with it. This value education is not a new concept. It has been around for years. We have seen we have a great Mahabharata, Ramayana, Yudhishthir, Arjuna, they all were educated. They were all educated with love, leadership quality, subject matters. So somewhere we have lost this. We had a Takshashila and we had a Nalanda. What happened? Why our education system has deteriorated? Because many institutions are run for the wrong reason. They are either run by a businessman to make money or to hide his black earned money, or some politicians who wants to get mileage to get elected. I urge Sri Narendra Bhai Modi ji to look into these education institutions. Education should be above anything else. Saraswati Devi should be the highest priority. It should be about religion. It should be about politics. The education is the only reason I'm here and you're listening to me. If I was not educated, I was so lucky that I was born in a small village in a farming community and ended up to be educated. That Bal Vivali Baat kari, Vallabhbhai. I was married at 19. My wife was pregnant. I had no money. I had no English. And I ended up in America somehow. I cleaned the bartan to support my education. And I have ended up here. It is merely a luck and probably a hard work. But more than that, it was a values that my mom gave it to me. So what values can do to one's life? I can vouch for it. Let's repeat. I want to repeat my life million times to these young children. This is not an experiment. It has been proven. This is not an experiment. I'm not running the experiment by doing this, running this university. We have done one more thing. I was just telling before the program that university, I am the president and my wife, we are known as a Dada and Dadi. People don't call us Mr. and Mrs. People don't call us Mr. and Madam. Sir, no Mr. President. People call me Dada. And my wife is Dadi. Now imagine, I have 15,000 children that I am Dada and she is Dadi. And we are raising them as if they were our own children. We have created a blood relation. That's a DNA. And we are raising them as if they were our own children. We talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We say Vidya is Samajotkarsh, but we don't understand Vidya in a true sense. Vidya is not the Newton's law. Vidya, in a broad sense, is Charitra Gata. Samaj is not Patel's community or Jain community or Joshi community. Patel is a, Gandhiji said, the entire world. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And Utkarsh is not making a lot of money, not becoming Dhirubhai Ambani or Tata or Birla or Bill Gates. It's living a good life, having a happiness in the family. So these are the value that even something simple as Vidya Samaj Utkarsh, we say it 1,000 times, but we really don't understand the true meaning of it. Let's break it down. Vidya, Samaj, Utkarsh, and then let's and when we eat food, how many times we chew real good and we get real taste of it. The life is similar. One thing we also need to do is we make an impact on students, on their mind. We sharpen their mind. But I think we should make an impact on their heart, their emotion. And the other thing, we need to connect their mind and their heart. You know, the heartless doctor is no good to the society. He could be the smartest heart specialist, but if he does not have a heart, he is no good. He's got to have a good heart for himself before he become a good heart specialist. Then and only then we have a Vallabhbhai, we have Netaji. Those are the kind of people we need to produce. And it is our job. It is a university's job to do this. So this value-based education, I've talked a lot about. I'm really frustrated that such a simple thing, why we call it a genius, why not a common sense? It's really, it's down to earth thing. There cannot be any more common than common sense. So let's not make it uncommon. Let's make it common. Let's create Gunwan. Let's spread the goodness in the world. Let's educate our children properly. Narendra Bhai Modi says that India has a treasure, and his treasure is the youth. Well, I agree with him. So let's take advantage of our treasure. Let us nurture them properly. Let us create more institutions. Let us support those kind of institutions. And then once we have one good institution, let's have thousands. Make a prototype. I want to build a Ganpati University, a prototype. And then have 1,000 in the nation. Leverage the hell out of it. Let's take advantage of the situation. We have a lot of youth. India is rich with the youth. And I agree with Modi ji, 100%. But we need to take it to the next level. If we don't do it, that youth will become, my life has gone so fast. I'm 76 years old, and I wish I had another 70 years so I can see what's going to happen next. I don't want to lose, this youth, the precious treasure that we have. As a president of the university, I see the great opportunity. I want to take advantage of it. I want to thank you for listening me. If you have any questions, I'm available. Uh, and like I said, I want to implement my life that has gone by the book. Thanks God. Uh, and the leverage heck out of it to every youngster in India. This is the best thing you can do for Bharat Mata. We can do for Bharat Mata together. Thank you, Josiji. Vallabhbhai is my favorite individual, and thank you for doing research and PhD on him, and thank you for listening me and giving me chance. God bless you all.
Thank you, Ganpatji. Thank you, Dada. Human values, integrity, ethics, value as a concept. There are no many menabas live with learning, truly making youth as Vallabhbhai or Netaji. India has tremendous new generation and tremendous dreams. All your speech, I cannot summarize the speech, but something which I have read down, I have tried to narrate. So thank you very much, Dada. And it has been a wonderful. I think we wish that you come again and again to give us guidance. Thank you very much. Over to host, please.
If there are any questions or any suggestions to improve our program, it is welcome. If questions are there, Pujya Dada only listening to him. And he's there with us.
देवांग भाई मारे प्रश्न દેવાંગ ભાઈ
પૂછો
મારે બંને સ્પીકર થી એક પ્રશ્ન છે. પહેલા સંજયભાઈ થી. સંજયભાઈ, અગર સપોઝ સરદાર વલ્લભભાઈ પટેલ આજના યુગમાં હોતે અને અમારા પ્રધાનમંત્રી બહુ સારા છે મોદીજી, પણ એ પ્રધાનમંત્રી હોતે તો શું થતે?
એટલે પ્રશ્નને બે ભાગમાં જવાબ આપી દઉં કે 1950 માં પણ જો બન્યા હોત તો જે આપણા જે કલ્ચરલ, મારા પોતાના અભ્યાસ પ્રમાણે અને જે બહુ જ પબ્લિક ડોમેનમાં ઓછું છે કે આપણા કલ્ચરલ વેલ્યુઝ થી જે આપણા એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેશન ને દૂર લઈ જવામાં આવ્યું ને એ કદાચ ન થાત. બીજું કે ડોક્ટર રાજેન્દ્ર પ્રસાદ, કૃપલાનીજી, કંઈક અંશે રાજાજી, જે લોકો પછી એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેશન થી દૂર થતા ગયા એ લોકો ન થાત. અને એક જે લીડરશિપ આપણને આઝાદીમાં મળી ને એ જ લીડરશિપ દેશને બિલ્ડ કરવામાં મળી અને સિંગલ હેન્ડેડલી જે દેશને ચલાવવાની કોશિશ થઈ ને એ ન થાત તો એ દેશને વધારે ફાયદો થાત. નેક્સ્ટ પ્લીઝ.
Devangji, can I ask the question to Dada?
Yes, go ahead.
always.
Dada, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
He's there.
Dada, I myself is associated with the university in Surat, and I have read your article also that you are bringing in many new technologies from US and other parts of the country, other countries to our India and especially to Ganpati University. I have seen that being in Surat, South Gujarat, most of the events like Vibrant Gujarat and most of the things are happening in Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad only, even Olympics. So how the South Gujarat students can have the benefit of the technologies and other events. Other events can be answered by Joshi sir, and particularly the technology. You are bringing in many technologies that I have read somewhere. So how it can be benefited to the students of the South Gujarat also. Thank you very much.
today there is a lot of transparency everywhere. Google, Facebook, there is no secret. The world has become transparent. There are many the medias, like we have brought 5G technology. It's not, we have no pattern. I mean, you can look at anywhere and you can, first of all, the management, the upper management of the institution should be visionary, that what is going to be happening tomorrow. If you are shooting the bird and bird is moving, you can't be shooting, your aim should not be fixed. You have to look at what's going to happen next. So you have to kind of allow for bird to go from there and shoot there, rather than, you say, no, I'm going to shoot here. Well, you're not going to aim at the proper, your nishana chuk jayega. So the management have to think, what is the future? The future is sustainability, green energy, electricity, electric cars, battery technology, 5G technology is going to lots and lots of data, lots and lot of computerization, automation. So the institutions are the forefront of the technology. So first of all, the management has to be open-minded, forward-thinking, forward-looking, and then assign people to look around what is happening outside, what is happening in the world, and try to understand, and then implement it. Take a risk. It's, a lot of time you are taking chances when you are doing new things. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm not afraid of failing. There is no such thing as failure in life. You either succeed or you have learned. And I think students you should create that kind of attitude in the students. This is what's going to create more entrepreneurs. India need to first catch up and then get ahead. We are in the catch-up mode. So look around. Once we get ahead, then we don't need to look behind. We just look forward. Right now, we need to look sideways, we need to look behind, and we need to look forward. Let's look forward. Who are ahead of us? China. China was nowhere. I have visited China 50 times in the last 50 years, 40 years. They were nowhere. They were much worse than India ever will be. And today, China has every technology known to the mankind. Even their airports are better than American airport. Their factories are running faster, more efficient. So we need to get this concept into India. And there is two kinds of India. One is the older India and a new India. The older India don't want to leave their chair empty for a newer India. They are in love with their chair. They are in love with their position. I am admiring the Modi ji for putting younger people in the cabinet. Older people just don't have an energy. I'm 76 years. I get tired. I should allow. I'm looking for a good president myself. Please find me one. I'm dying to vacate my seat. And that's what that's the attitude that institutions should have. And that's what's going to make you, forward-looking institution. So, there is no secret. It's just find the right person, assign, and start implementing things.
Devanji, can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
Devanji?
प्लीज अतुल जी प्लीज गो अहेड देवांग जी का कनेक्शन में कुछ
अच्छा दादा, सबसे पहले तो आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि हमारी जो हिस्टोरिकल वैल्यूज है वो वैल्यूज को आप अपने इंस्टीट्यूट में इम्प्लीमेंट करा रहे हो, उसका प्रसार कर रहे हो, इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सर, आपने एक बात कही थी कि जो शिक्षण आज का है वो डिटेरियोरेट हो रहा है, और मोदी जी को आपने विनती की थी, अर्ज किया था कि भी आप अभी उसके सिस्टम पे थोड़ा सा ध्यान दीजिए। सर मुझे ऐसा मेरा आपसे ये सवाल है कि क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि टाइम हैज कम नाउ अगेन कि जो ये सारी शिक्षण संस्था है उसको प्राइवेटाइजेशन की जगह से नेशनलाइज कर देना चाहिए वापस, और सरकार को सिलेक्टेड जो संस्थाएं है जो 50 साल से 70 साल से 80 साल से एक सेवा के भावने से शिक्षण संस्था चला रहे हैं उनको देना चाहिए, या फिर जो बड़े बड़े कॉर्पोरेट्स है उनको देना चाहिए। अब ये शिक्षण डिटेरियोरेट हो रहा है, इसकी जड़ मुझे ऐसी लगते है कि ये जो प्राइवेटाइजेशन हुआ है और अभी किसी को भी जिस तरह से लाइसेंस बांटते जाए, आलिया मालिया लालिया किसी को भी शिक्षण संस्थाएं चलाने की जो अनुमति दे रहे हैं उससे स्वाभाविक रूप से मनी ओरिएंटेड लोग ही इसमें आ रहे हैं और उसका गैरफायदा उठा रहे हैं, ऐसा मेरा मानना है। प्लीज आपका क्या मंतव्य है इसके?
There is three kind of institution right now in India. One is government, which cannot be efficient in another 1,000 years. Government should have no business of running anything other than country. They should keep their nose out of it, and they should act like a policeman and provider of the resources. Second is private with wrong एटीट्यूड, उसका कारण इंस्टीट्यूट रखने का, पैसा बनाने का, ब्लैक मनी मालिया के पास इंस्टीट्यूशन होगी तो क्या होगा? And the third is a philanthropic people. I don't want to play my own horn, but there are people who are, I have no family in India. I have no brother, no sister, no nephew, nieces left in India. They're all in America. And so I have none of my blood relative children are going to the university. The only thing I want to do is educate India because I was born in India. It's my Bharat Mata. And I also want to be faithful to America. You know, I have two mothers like a Krishna did. One who raised him and one was a birth. And he was nice to both. We don't have to go too far away. So then how do you make this institution honest? I told you the first thing you do is you have a code of conduct and code of ethics. We have created code of conduct and code of ethics and non-compete in our institution, and copy is available to everybody. Ashaji, if you need it, you can ask Sharmaji and he will give you a copy. You can add and subtract on it, and the way you should, and you make everybody to follow those guidelines. If they don't follow, they are gone. You cannot then, India has the rules, speeding rules, driving cars, but nobody follows. So what good is the rule if you don't follow? So if you're going to institute these rules, and if you don't follow, why Vallabhbhai was Iron Man? Because he meant what he said and he made it happen. He went to those Gadwara and he negotiated and he stood firm. So if the president of the institution, his behavior is he himself follows the rule and he makes everybody sign on the dotted line, and if they don't follow, their job is dependent upon that, them following code of conduct and code of ethics strictly, then they will follow. So in India, if it's a minister's son and he gets stopped by a cop, he doesn't need to worry about it because he's not going to be punished. In America, it's not such thing. The president can also get ticket if he's driving fast, and he will be reprimanded. He will have to pay the fine. So we just need to create that kind of institutions, that kind of environment, whole India, and that is what the corruption comes in. We all say corruption, but corruption takes two people: the one who gives corruption and who takes corruption. So let's make sure that we are here. We never to get a little small benefit of for ourselves. We never bribe anybody, no matter how many times you have to go to Gandhinagar. You just do not bribe them. If I go to Gandhinagar, people come with the gifts. What is going on here? I don't know. Narendra Modi says that. Shoot them bastards if they take it. Have no mercy. This is the only way. Stop corruption. No gifts allowed. Not even a little panda. They can buy their own panda. It is everywhere. And it is not new. It's been there. And maybe it is a better than it was. But I see it. I go to government offices and they just give you runaround. They don't want to do, they don't want to, you go for some approval. They will be kind. They will welcome you. They will have a tea for you. But they will make you come back and come back and come back. And finally you get the message that, oh, I have to bribe. This is the method that has to go. And it has to go now. If we don't do that, the future generation will never forgive us. So, Modi is doing a fantastic job. He's absolutely the right person, but it takes the Iron Man to do it. And, when I come to university, I spend 50-50 between India and here. And me and Manju, my wife, have dedicated our life for this, getting rid of the corruption and doing all this. But these ministers, the elected officials, they don't want to do things because they see opportunity there. They don't see opportunity the way I see it, that let's educate future generation for right. No, they say, okay, I have 5 years. I want to become millionaire. You see, and this is why you see over and over that the minister's children want to be minister. The elected official want to be elected. Their children want to be in that business because it has become business. It's not a seva. They don't do seva. That's the last thing they do. So elected official cannot do good to the society because the minute they are elected, they are worrying about the next election. And the only thing they look at is the votes. That's the only thing they can see. They don't want to do service to the society. So please don't rely on them fixing India. Find some philanthropic people. Find some people that have the values in their life. I'm sorry to say that, but too many elected officials are there. Big portion of it is corrupted. And then bureaucrats are also corrupted because the whole thing is corrupted. And it has to start from the top down, not bottom up. Abhi, swachhta ke liye you go from bottom up. But for corruption, you have to come from top down. If I don't take corruption, I have no interest in letting my lieutenants take corruption money. And then they won't let people below take corruption. But it has to start from the top and be firm on it. Thank you. I'm frustrated, like you are.
Dada, can I make a request to you?
Please do.
Sir, you showed a book about values, ethics. You got printed in Ganpat University. Can we have a copy here
Yes,
for
ask
our
Sharma ji.
reference? Yes.
Yes, ask Sharma ji. I will tell
Sharma ji.
Saurabh
Okay.
will give you one.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
certainly send it shipped to you, ma'am.
It's
Okay,
written
sir.
by Ganpat University and from Brahma Kumari. You know Brahma
Oh, very
Kumari?
nice. Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
Brahma
I have
Kumari-
been.
Yeah, so we had outsourced Brahma Kumari to educate our children. So Brahma Kumari sisters would come to the university and they would take the classes. I have sat in a class myself, personally, along with the children.
Because just
Okay.
2 days back,
Sir.
Raviji is there. Raviji is here. 2 days back, we were discussing about attitude and integrity. So now we can
Attitude.
add more and we can discuss because we are planning some program. Raviji, you can explain more.
Any
Ganpat bhai,
other
Yeah,
questions?
I would like to ask one this thing regarding Srimati M. Patel Sainik School, the girls' education initiative which you have taken up.
Yes.
You have not spoken about that, and you are educating at least 400 girls a year in the military school. Kindly elaborate on that, sir.
Well, okay, that is actually a flagship of our institution. Okay, I have a big hopes on it, but I have not gotten as much government support as I could. You should visit and look at these girls. They come from the poorest of the poor family. By the time they come on the 10th grade. By the time, no, 8th grade. By the time we are done with them, they have the most discipline. Nobody's going to stop in life. They will go far. They will either end up in the Indian military, medical school, become doctor, become engineer, whatever they will become a damn good person. Let me tell you, there is no ifs and buts in my mind. They are going to be the best citizen of the world. There is not going to be any better citizen. You cannot tell me. And there might be other schools. There is a Barachadi, but government is giving us 10,000 rupees per student. It's a granted. And they are spending 50,000 at Barachadi per boy. Why don't they match with them? So we are being strangled, by and we have asked many times, but it is not happening. You keep going and you waste a lot of time in Gandhinagar. These are the things that are happening in India. But you should visit. And I'm telling you that if we as an institute, if I am taking money and putting in my account, or one of my vice president, one of my registrar, or any professor taking any bribe, doing anything wrong, any misconduct, let me know. I will immediately get rid of them. And they all know it. They will not do it because they know the rule. You have to establish the culture. This is what I'm talking about. So this is a flagship, and it's on the name of my wife. We personally have donated money. We teach these girls. You should see how much discipline they have. When I live on campus, sometimes me and Nadi, we visit them, and in the evening when they have time, so they do prayer and then we talk, and then when we have to go at the end of the night at our house, then we start crying. This is how much love they give us, and this is it's working. It's working so well that we should do it 1,000 times. This woman, the girl child, please do visit and talk to these girls. They're from very, very ordinary families. They learn horse riding, they learn shooting, they learn mountain climbing, they learn subject matters. They are practical. You should see their discipline. You should see their behavior. If we can leverage upon this, we finally this year we got approval to add more classes. Now, why should we have to get approval to have 10 classes of this girl teaching if the girls are available? What is government's role? To stop us from educating more, or to help us to educate more? Why do we have to get a government approval to get another 2 classes? And it took us 3 years to get there, to get approval. This is stupid. In America, if the education institution want to teach and get more students and get a good student, they don't need any government approval. Right?
Yeah.
They are giving us 10,000 rupees. Okay, don't give us 10,000 rupees. Give us approval. So we need to create more institution of eminence, and then government should watch them. If they do something wrong, shut them down. Shut them down. Implement, put them in the jail. I am telling government that if I do something wrong, shoot me. But don't stop me from doing something right. The time is now. And to do little thing, it takes years and years and years. I'm 76. I don't have that much time. We are all getting older. Nobody's getting younger. We got to get it done and get it done now. Ravi ji, how old are you? Namaste. We are all getting up there, right? We need to do things in a hurry. Sorry, I'm venting my frustration as well. But I think we need to get this thing done, and this is RSS is a proper form. We have a right ideas. We just have to implement.
Yes, sir, we understand the pain which you have gone through in establishing and the girl school, but now it's changing, and we all feel that it will take time. But yes, we are going to be the supreme in the world in regard to the administration and all. It is changing, but the bureaucracy is still there. Apologies to Sanjay Bhai because he's a bureaucrat, but at the same time, yeah, it is changing, and I'm hopeful that when we'll meet once again in the next session, and we'll have your guidance, you will have some positive thing to say about the bureaucracy. Let's hope.
One last comment.
Yeah.
I can say whatever I want to say because I don't want anything for free from government, and I have no personal agenda. My agenda is only to educate youngsters and do the best, make the best institution for future generation. So, they can't do anything wrong with me. Otherwise, these politicians are so vicious. You can't talk against them. You can't talk against them. They'll shoot you. They'll finish you. But we need more people from outsider who are, it breaks our hearts that it is not the India that we left. And it is not America that we came to. But that's not the subject of the day. Subject of the day is India, today's India. We're talking about India. Let's not worry about everybody else. Right? Thank you.
If there are no
Sanjay ji.
questions, we can request. Are there any questions now? Are there any questions? Anybody? Okay. This is the final call. Okay. Then we can. Asha ji, please. Vijay bhai ko bula लीजिए.
So we now move towards the end of the webinar, and I request Jagannath ji to इसका समापन करें, वो एक श्लोक शांति मंत्र से समापन करें इसका वेबिनार का. जगन्नाथ जी प्लीज.
ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्चित्
जगतां जगत्
तेन
तत्तेन पुञ्जिता मा गर्दः कस्य विज्जनं शान्ति. पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ओम्.
धन्यवाद. थैंक्स.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद.